This video is brought to you by the FarmerKlein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 22 Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Bucks County, PA. But before that, this video is brought to you by Dragon Age and Scorpion 689. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Bucks County, PA map can be found over at the FarmingSimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Let me read you a little bit of the description. Welcome to Bucks County, PA. Here you'll find 60 challenging, irregularly shaped fields ranging in size from small to large. There are several empty plots on the map that can be purchased, cleared, and either converted into fields or used for additional buildings or farms. You start the game on the main farm, which consists of cows and chickens. In addition, this map includes horses, pigs, sheep, and a secondary cow farm. These areas will be displayed once you purchase the land. Now, in addition to that, this map does have a required mod. That required mod is root crop storage. I bring this up not for single player players. I bring this up for those that are interested in putting this map on a multiplayer server. If you load this map up on a server without root crop storage, your save will not start until you add the root crop storage mod and activate it. I really wish that the game would give you some debugging information and tell you that which mods are required, but it does not do that on a dedicated server. In addition to root crop storage, we are going to use the mods we typically use when we take a look at maps. They are additional field info, additional game settings, field lease, field calculator, and precision farming. I'm also going to tell you, if you load this map up in a farm manager mode or start from scratch, you will find a few interesting things. Typically, when you load maps up in those play modes, either you have a farm completely built out like you do a new farmer, or with no buildings at all. And typically, either you have no starting machinery, or you have the same starting machinery as you have in new farmer mode. Neither of those is the case on this particular map, though. In Farm Manager or Start from Scratch, all the farm buildings are gone, with the exception of your animal pens. Your animal pens remain at all of the other farms, but there are no other buildings. In addition to that, with respect to your starting equipment, in a Farm Manager mode or Start from Scratch, you start out with a single piece of starting equipment. And that single piece of starting equipment is, well, it's a Krone Big X forage harvester. Not really sure why, but I just think that there may be a little oops with respect to the coding, because typically it's either none or all of the machinery. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map itself. We do have all the standard crop types available to us in Farm Sim 22. And in addition, if we take a look at the lands area, you'll see we start out with a fair bit of starting land. Farmland ID 1 is the main starting farm that can be bought for $308,000. In addition to that, we have Farmland 83, 84, 85, and 86 at the main starting farm. We do have several plots around the map that are unnumbered. They are typically the unbuyable land. They could be bought for $0, and technically they are Farmland ID 82, even though I really don't see the 82 number anywhere. Now, as far as the town in the southwest corner, we own the entirety of the town. That includes Farmland ID 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 57, 80, 78, and 79. Now, in addition to that, we have a pig farm at Farmland ID 36. They can be bought for $50,000. We also have a cow farm at Farmland ID 58 that can be bought for $159,000. We have a sheep farm at Farmland ID 51 that can be bought for $141,000. Then we have a horse farm that can be purchased for $96,000. Let's go ahead and take a look at our farmland lease screen. The farmland lease screen is going to show us all of the farmland we own or can purchase, how large that farmland is, and if that farmland includes any field or fields which are included. Then finally, it's going to show us how much that particular farmland is going to cost us. Now we can also then go ahead and take a look at our field calculator screen. This is going to show us all of the fields that we own or do not own and how large those fields are. We can then cross-reference this with the farmland lease screen to then see how much any one particular field is going to cost. But we have some fairly large fields. For example, field 33, 6.89 hectares. And then right beside it, field 34 is 0.8. So quite the variety of field sizes. If we go ahead and take a look at our soil map, this map is using the US generic soil map from the Precision Farming mod. As you can see, we have quite the swath of silty clay, kind of going from northeast to southwest. We also have loam and sandy loam, as well as loamy sand to the north and south of that swath of silty clay. Taking a look at our crop counter, we do have the standard base game crop counter available to us in Farm Sim 22. And if we take a look at our prices screen, we do indeed have the ability to sell all of our base game crops. But before we run down through that list, I do want to point out that we also own 100,000 liters of our grain crops already in our starting farm storage. In addition to our starting crops, we also have the ability to sell our animal outputs in eggs, wool, and milk, as well as silage, hay, straw, and grass. Taking a look down through the base game production items, we do have the ability to sell all of our base game production items, and boy, do we have quite a number of sell points for most of those base game production items. In addition, we have the ability to buy bulk lime, and we also have a stone crusher pre-placed on the map. Now, if you are willing to play with the platinum expansion production items, you will need to also put down your own sell point, because this map does not include a way of selling those at the start. And then finally, if you are playing with pumps and hoses, you do have a way of selling your separated manure. We start out with a fairly large list of starting machinery. All of it is owned, none of it is leased. We have the cow barn and a chicken coop at the start, but we do not have any animals. We do have contracts available on the map, and we do start out with 9 large greenhouses in our production chains list here. This map also does not include any collectibles. Taking a look at our starting fleet. We start out with John Deere 6120M small tractor. We then move up to the 6250R medium tractor. Then we have a trio of large tractors in the John Deere 9620RX, the 9620R, and the 8R410. We have our Pinnacle 6x4 Mac Semi. We have the John Deere X9 1100 Harvester that is paired up with the HD45X header trailer for grain. And then we have the CF16F corn header. We're going to use the Nardi in 6045 header trailer to transport our grain header. We've got the Krone Big X 1180 forage harvester. Then we've got the X Collect 903 forage harvester header for that forage harvester. We've got the self-propelled SPW Intense TMR mixer. We have a Brune 4200 self-propelled fertilize and herbicide sprayer. We've got the Krone Big M 450 mower. We have then the John Deere Gator as far as our vehicles. We have several trailers in the Straudeman Aperon 3401. We have a pair of Load King Distinction Super P trailers, the lead and pole trailer. We have a Brantner TA 23071 Power Push Plus trailer as well. We have the Scorpio 550 Stone Collector. We've got the PJP 610 Mulcher. We have the PW 112 Cooperland Plow. We have the K 12200 Cultivator. The Amazon Citan 15001C Seeder. We've got the John Deere 1775 NT Planter. We have the Breedile K 165 Fertilizer and Lime Spreader as well. We have a Dalbo Maxi Roll 630 green lined grass care roller. We have the Pottinger Hit 1618T Tedder. We have the GA 15131 Windrower. We have the Shuttle 490S Forage Wagon. We have the Case LB 436 HD Baler. We have the PWO 24 Bale Trailer. We have our MKS 32 Liquid Tanker. Now that is modded, and we have seen some other modded vehicles in this starting fleet, and they are modded in order to hold a substantially larger quantity. We have our silage harvester leveler. We've got a silage harvester compactor. We have then a pair of John Deere front loader arms and a 643R and a 603R. For our front loader, we have a fork with grapple and universal bucket. We have then the Convey All 1690 auger, as well as the Meridian TL1239 belt. We have a snowplow in the Samaz OLIMP 330. And then we round it all out with the Krone Profi Liner semi-trailer. Now, if we take a look at our mods and DLCs, we do indeed have several modded vehicles and implements that are included with this map. Here we have a universal bucket for a front loader. It's going to hold 100,000 liters. Not really sure how you're going to be able to lift that, but at any rate, it's going to hold 100,000 liters worth of product. We've got our Brantner that is configured to hold 250 to 340,000 liters worth of product. Okay. We've got our Amperin trailer, which is going to hold 500,000 cubic meters of product. Okay. We already talked about the liquid trailer. We have our Load King distinctions at 352 cubic meters worth of product. 404. Yeah, lots of product. We've got our planter. Again, it's configured to hold a whole heap ton of seed. Our fertilizer spreader is going to hold 156,000 to 250,000 liters worth of product. Our seeder, 78,000 liters. Our sprayer is going to be configured to hold 42,000 liters worth of product and most likely operate at a higher rate of speed. Our harvester is going to hold 250,000 liters. I'm assuming that these levelers and compactors are going to be extra heavy, so they're going to work faster. We have our mixer here that's going to hold 250,000, again, cubic meters worth of product. So yeah, we got lots and lots and lots of stuff. We've got a modded Ropa Tiger S, as well as the Ropa Tiger S header. It's going to work with sugar beets and potatoes. And then we have our modded Krone Big X that is going to obviously work at a higher rate of speed, no doubt. Also, it's been configured to work with sugarcane. With that, let's go ahead and take a look here at our starting farm. So we have a liquid and a solid fertilizer tanker here holding 60,000 liters. And this tanker's got 173,500 liters worth of both liquid fertilizer and herbicide. We have seed storage and mineral feed storage, 27,300 liters of each in that silo as well. A bulk of our starting machinery is found in this large shed. We also have a maintenance trigger back there in the corner. Our farm silo is located right here, and we also have several farm silo extensions. This is, of course, where all of our grain is stored at the start. Our chicken coop is configured to hold 500 chickens. We have our Profi Liner. Then we have our cow barn. It's been configured to hold 500 cows. We have our milk trigger. Food trough and stalker is going to be located inside of here. On the other side of the cow barn, we have a silage bunker. Then everything I'm showing you here with respect to the farm can be sold, with the exception of 3 sections of hedge. I'm not really sure why. Again, I think it's just a coding error, but there are 3 sections of hedge right here by the chicken coop. I tried to sell those earlier and they just would not sell in any way, shape, or form in build mode. Another large storage barn in here for our machinery. Plenty of room to expand and grow. We have our fuel tank. That includes 25,000 liters of fuel at the start. We have our bulk lime buy trigger located right here. And that pretty much concludes the starting farm. Now, I will tell you that your farmhouse is fairly well removed from the starting farm. In fact, your starting house is way over here. So we have our sleep trigger. And then we have our gator, and then a little bit of a garage barn located right here. We can sell the barn. We can also sell the farmhouse. So that, I'm going to go ahead and buy the other farms that are available on the map. That way we have those triggers when we do our fly around, and then also when we finally get around to our drive around. Now, I have always felt that this map had a very, very realistic feel to it. And I think you all might possibly agree once you kind of start seeing this map from the flyover, and most definitely from the drive around. Now, right around the back of the starting farm, we've got this section over here. And this section is not owned at us at the start, but our auger in our belt is over here. We have the 2 grain or root crop storage buildings that are the required mod is placed over here. We have a flat bottom bin and then some additional vehicle storage. So this could be a secondary farm kind of just removed from the main starting farm, or this could just be an extension of the main farm, because again, the main farm is located right there. And then there we have our farmhouse. Now, with respect to production, this map has 20 production items built in. We already talked about the 9 greenhouses that are built in. In addition to that, we have a bakery, carpentry, cereal, dairy, sugar mill, oil mill, tailor, spinnery, grain mill, sawmill, and a grape processing unit. So quite a bit of production built into the map. And when we get down to the town area, I will say that we do have possibly several areas that you can put additional production or sell points down, because there's a lot of open plots. But I somewhat question if possibly this map is somehow maybe missing some buildings because of how those plots are set up. So we got our bowling alley down there as a sell point. Another sell point down there as a house that we just kind of bypassed. We have our sawmill located over here to the west. As we double back a little bit, we're going to have our grain mill over here just north of field 20. We have our bakery directly ahead. And then the starting farm is right over there. Our vehicle shop and dealer is located right here as far as our maintenance trigger. Right across the street from that, we have those 9 greenhouses. Here we have the horse farm. Now, as far as the horse farm goes, we can sell some of these ancillary buildings, but the large barn there is going to remain. But we can get rid of the triggers here associated with the horses. Then we have our sheep barn, our sheep farm, located right here. The large secondary cow farm is located right there across the river. And then we make our way toward the town. We have our animal dealer, our grocery store sell point. Really like this kind of parking lot across the way. And then here we move into what I feel is maybe areas where we are maybe missing some buildings. So, for example, this location right here. Looks like it would be a great place to put down some buildings. We got a little bit of curbage going on. Not too bad there. But over here, we've got all of this sidewalk area, but no building. Right? And this sidewalk area has collisions on it. So if we go to try to put a building down, see it says overlaps with another object. We can move it over here. And we put it just right where we'll be able to place it. But if we get too close then to the sidewalk, we're not going to be able to place it. We've got other areas here in town that are similar as well. So it just makes me feel like there should be a building here, but there isn't. Got some more blank areas there. Another one. And then over here we have sidewalk space kind of wrapping this whole corner. As if there's supposed to be 3 or 4 buildings here, but again, they just aren't showing up. Maybe this is supposed to be build zone area, build your own type area there. But if it is, I would think that these sidewalks or curbage would go away because they are definitely going to impede your ability to place a building down unless you are using free place mode. You'll see overlaps with another object. It's those curbs. That's what it overlaps with. But if you enable free place mode, then you can put them down without an issue. Got our dairy down there. I just really like how this map feels. The way we have trees kind of lining all the fields. Here we have a pig farm that we talked about earlier. So with respect to our scoring system, we are going to be giving the map a full point with respect to production being built in or areas set aside for such. Again, we have 20 production areas pre-built into the map. That's more than enough to get a full point there. We've got a grain sell point below. We have our oil mill. In addition, we're going to be giving the map a full point with respect to having the ability to sell all of our basic crops, production items, and animal outputs. We've got our carpentry. Another grain sell point. We have our oil mill over there. Another large grain sell point off in the distance. Let's make our way back over to the starting, not starting farm, but over to the dealer. As far as our farms being customizable, we are going to be giving the map a full point there as well. All of the buildings on all of the starting farms can be sold. I'm not going to deduct any points with respect to those 3 little bits of hedge that I couldn't sell for whatever reason. They really aren't that much in the way, so I thought we'd just go ahead and kind of give the map a little bit of a pass there. We have our dealer trigger up here at the upper building. And let's go ahead and get our Mahindra spawned in. And there we have our vehicles spawn in here. Not the largest area for vehicles to spawn in at. Right? not the largest area here. Now, hopefully, when this area fills up, it's going to then spawn down here. In the FS19 version of the map, I'm pretty sure your vehicles spawn down here at the lower level. Down here at the lower level, we have our dealer trigger. Buy, sell, trade, repair, repaint, and customize. Really like the use of multiple elevations with respect to the vehicle dealer. Oh, we might as well just kind of make our way across the street to the greenhouse area. These are standard base game greenhouses, so they're going to take water and then they're going to produce our vegetables. Nice large shed here for storing of your pallets, storing of your vehicles or machinery or other items for the greenhouses. And then we kind of move down here. This area is somewhat removed from the horse farm, but I kind of feel it is somewhat also connected to the horse farm. We've got our water trigger there, again, for our greenhouses. The horse farm proper. Just a couple sheds, and then we have our food dump point, straw dump point, and 16 horses. Like I said, the building is going to remain, but this area down here, you're going to be able to sell that. Right across the street from the horse farm, we then have a sheep farm. So we have a hayloft. We have a maintenance trigger. Then we're going to come back. We've got vehicle storage, bale storage. We have our base game silo here at the sheep farm. $500 sheep. Do we see a little bit of a trend maybe with respect to our animal areas? So we've got our food there. Our wool is going to spawn most likely over here off the side. We don't see trigger markers. I'd love to see trigger markers to indicate where our wool is going to spawn at. Getting really great use of elevation changes. Now, this general area was a farmyard in a previous iteration of the map. We have our great processing center, the dump point, pallet, spawn point, and interactive icons. We have our bowling alley, I believe, coming up here to the right. Oh, sorry, this is our kind of our garden center. Farmers market area. So you have an up point for grain and pallets. Over to the left, we have our animal dealer. You're going to see we're going to be able to buy our animals for all the other areas as well, because I've gone ahead and purchased those. So if we deem that that kind of area just north of the starting farm is a second farm, we have 6 farms available on the map. Because we have a starting farm, which has got sheep, or not sheep, has cows and chickens. We then have the arable farm, which we'll call the farm just north of that. Then we have a pig farm, another cow farm, a sheep farm, and a horse area. So we're dump point for our grocery. And making our way into town. We have a sell point here at GD Transport. Empty plot across the street. But like I said, there's lots of empty land here in town, and it just gives me the feel that maybe there's supposed to be things there that just aren't. Again, mostly because of the existence of the curbs and the sidewalks at those areas. So we have another sell point here in town. Oops. Across the street we have a sell point. Across the street again we have a sell point. Our Mexican restaurant is going to be a sell point. South Valley Biomass and Energy is going to be a sell point. This is going to where we're going to bring logs. So we have a log dump point here and a wood cell trigger located right there. We'll call this Barren Corner. We have our dairy production item. So interactive icon around the front, dump point and pallet spawn point around the back. And then we have our last sell point here in town. It's going to be Bucks County Processing. And back out to the county. Let's hope we don't get lost on these winding country roads. Really well done, river kind of running through the map at distinct areas, kind of separating things up. Really enjoyed my play series I did on this map. I think it was back in FS19. I think I also did one in FS17. So here we have our pig area. We have a decorative barn. We have our farm silo. Large farm silo with dump and fill points. we're going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say that this pig area is going to hold 500 pigs. Indeed it will. Then we have a large contractor shed down here at this farm. Then this little, we'll call it an NPC farm. It's going to be a sell point. Davis Hay and Straw. I had neighbors growing up. They were the Davises. Although I didn't live in Pennsylvania. But I'd love to, if I had the bandwidth, I would love to get back to doing play series, and this would be a map I would strongly consider for that. We've got our oil mill. Dump point, pallet spawn point, and interactive icon. Well, the interactive icon's around here somewhere. There it is. There she be. And then we have another sell point. This looks like the grain mill. It's not the grain mill, it's just a sell point. There we go. We have our carpentry over here to the left. Dump point for out planks. Sell point for wood. We're at interactive icon. We're at dump point. Out spawn point. All of that fun action. Watch out for those country drivers. They just race around the roads. Here we have another grain sell point. And just down the street from that, we have our sugar mill. We have our dump point. Out spawn point, interactive icon. Our stone crusher is tucked away back here by field 40. Nice little AI farm that is also a sell point. Really well done lanes going over to the fields and such. TNTmodding always hits it out of the park with this map in every iteration he's ever done. We have our Taylor, so wardrobe trigger, pallet spawn point, interactive icon, dump point all going on right here. Now, I think I may have missed cow farm. Yes, I did. So we've got one more animal area. I missed the cow farm. I missed this one that is located right here. We're located right here, so we're just going to make a quick detour down and around. Then we'll loop up and catch over these things. And we'll call that then a day. We'll do a little bit of first-person driving. Get a good sense of the various elevation changes that are going on. We got our sheep farm over here to the left. Our horse area to our right. The animal dealer was just... The animal dealer, vehicle dealer was just behind us. With respect to buildings where appropriately are using the new texture technique, we're going to be giving the map a full point there because, yes, they are. These are all, for the most part, base game FS22 buildings. I think I missed the back road. Oh, this is taking us to our water tower. But the cow farm's over here. I must have missed the road. It turns off into this. It's okay, we'll find the right way out. 500 cows once again. Now that we went ahead and bought all the animal areas, we'll just take a quick look. Make sure they all have the standard requirements. Looks like they do indeed. This is just base game standard cow area. Capacity has been increased quite a bit. But the triggers are all where we're going to expect them to be. We've got our farm silo with a pair of silo extensions. A diesel tank. Then we have our liquid and solid fertilizer, and then our seed again. And these are empty, as opposed to the ones that were at the starting farm. Let's make our way up to the north. Love to hear what your all's thoughts and comments are with respect to this particular map. Quick jaunt up the western side of the map here. We have our farmer's market we already looked at. Our grape processing center, which we've already looked at. In fact, we came out of this road and then took a left, didn't we? The tree-lined roads, so you're going to need to be cautious with respect to the size of the machinery that you buy, the width of that machinery, because we do have a lot of these roads here are tree-lined. Another kind of empty possible building lot there. You may also need to be concerned about the height of some of your vehicles coming through here. Those branches look a little low. So we have our sawmill, we have our wood chip point. On the front we have our log drop point. our interactive icon, and our pallet spawn point. I hope you all agree that I think this map would indeed be great for multiplayer. Like I said, you've got anywhere between 5 or 6 farms available, 60 fields, so a fair bit of land available as well. We have our spinnery, our interactive icon. Dump point and pallet point are going to be around the back here. And then we have our bowling alley, which is just set up as a sell point. So again, we'll make our way across. Oops, no. We need to go this way. Because we have a production point down just above field 20. We need to take a look at. Lots of roads going here, there, and everywhere. Really gives you the ability to kind of go at different places, taking different routes. Seeing all the various sites. So here we have our flour mill, dump point, pallet spawn point, and interactive icon in the middle. Our bakery, which we saw during the drive around, this short little connector road. Taking us over here, interactive icon, dump point, and pallet point around the back. And then we're going to go ahead and take this road, which is going to take us to our final sell point. So the last thing we're going to talk about are player and interactive areas being clearly marked. And I'm going to tell you, overall, I do feel that they are all clearly marked, with the exception of I did not see where the sheep wool is going to spawn. I'm pretty sure I know where it's going to spawn, just because we are using, for the most part, base game animal areas. But still, I would like to see those markers show up. So we're going to knock off a quarter of a point there. So it is literally just one set of corner markers away from a perfect score. We're going to be giving the map a score of 4.75 out of 5. I do enjoy this map quite a bit. I enjoyed it back in FS17. I enjoyed it back in FS19. So glad to see it back in FS22. I think he has done an excellent job in adapting this map to the FS22 playstyle with the various productions being built in. I'm a little concerned with the things that are missing, maybe, or just the way the town is set up in the southwest corner. I don't think it's as buildable friendly as it could be because of the curbs and sidewalks at some of those open lots. I'm not really sure if those lots are supposed to have buildings and they're just not spawning in for some reason, or if those local lots are truly buildable areas, then I think they should be void of those curbs and sidewalks. Let me know your all's thoughts again down in the comments below. And until next time, happy farming.